Hi, I'm Mahmoud. I'm a musician and producer from Switzerland, and I have a question for you. Out of all the Linkin Park fans in the world, how many do you assume are thinking Chester Bennington is irreplaceable? Probably a vast majority, least of all the guys in the band. The past 7 years since his untimely passing has made it very clear that any singer standing in that spot would be forever compared to Chester, to his iconic voice as well as the message and love he brought to the world. So, how do you move on as a band? I think the answer Mike Shinoda and the rest of the guys found is maybe the one and only good solution. They obviously could have brought on a Chester clone, a Chester 2.0, if you will, and try and move on, cash in while it lasts, I guess, but that singer would never hear the end of it, nor would the band for obvious reasons, while also not really satisfying anyone. And really, it wouldn't be moving on. It would very much be trying to replace Chester for the sake of it. Now, getting a female singer might just be the only solution here, I think. Emily Armstrong, the singer in question, is super new to me. She does not have the typical female pop voice, but seems to have a voice that's on the lower end of that spectrum, I guess. What I heard on that live stream yesterday was impeccable. It was an amazing live performance from her as well as the rest of the band, including the newly appointed drummer Colin Britton, who's an awesome producer and songwriter in his own right. Wise decisions all around so far. Obviously, the focus for now is going to be Emily and how she'll handle the old songs and new. We heard her sing the old stuff already, and in my opinion, she absolutely delivered. She obviously sounds very different from Chester in many ways, being a woman and all, while also nailing so many of the specificities, the tone and the timbre of what made Chester so iconic. And both of those things are awesome. That is a tough spot to be in, and in my opinion, she handled it incredibly well. How about the new song now? Let's jump into that. The Emptiness Machine just got released, and it sounds very well produced to me, which is something they have almost always had going for them. Of course, there's always the talks of like the quality of the music, but I mean, that's very subjective, but the production, in my opinion, has always been incredible. That's always a strong suit of Linkin Park. This just might be their first song in a long time to actually sound like their first two albums production-wise. And I am super here for it. At this point, I don't know who had their hands on this production and mix, but I am loving it. It's crisp and clear and big while still sounding like an actual band, especially the drums. I hope their weight in the music industry manages to push more bands back into this realm of more realistic sounding productions. Mike Shinoda, the other iconic voice of Linkin Park, sounds as fresh and energetic as ever to me, and giving him the first verse and chorus was yet another wise choice. Establish the familiar before moving on to the new, right? The song starts off being carried by what sounds like a drum loop to me, though it could have been an actual performance by Colin that was cut up, maybe from a later part of the song, as well as a lo-fi piano progression before giving way to a calmer first chorus, with some really cool production techniques around the background vocals. At that point I was like, yeah, this definitely feels like a Linkin Park song. After that chorus is when the song kicks it up a gear or two, and the whole band comes in with what I consider the signature Linkin Park sound. Big rhythm guitars played by presumably Brad Delson or Mike, supported by a simple octave melody guitar on the lead, hard-hitting drums and a solid low end laid down by Phoenix. The one member I miss a bit on this song may be their DJ Joe Hahn, though maybe the piano parts are his. Either way, solid start. Now, when Emily comes in, it feels a bit odd. Not because she does anything wrong, on the contrary. It's just, you expect to hear Chester after you heard Mike, right? But that feeling dissipates within a few lines. She delivers a powerful performance the second she comes in, supported at first only by drums and bass. Mike comes in during the pre-chorus with both his own voice to support Emily as well as some chords on the piano, which I assume is him and not Joe Hahn. No longer are there any lo-fi parts, it's all bright and open and they hit you with the second chorus. No longer calm, no longer subdued, her performance gave me goosebumps. The very chorus that Mike sang so calmly at first, she now delivers an octave higher and with that grit and energy that fans of Chester will appreciate, me included. The instrumental backing the voice is just as big, and again, delivering that signature Linkin Park sound I mentioned before. Sadly, that's where I think the high point of the song was. It goes on to a calmer part that sounds close enough to the first verse, sung by Mike, with a more energetic repetition following that with the whole band back in, this time sung by Emily. It feels a bit formulaic, but that doesn't make it bad. It just feels a bit safe. They could have gone into a different sounding bridge, I think, but also treading new territories with a new singer is risk enough as is. So I won't begrudge them this safer decision. Finally, the song goes back into that signature Linkin Park chorus, doubled up, twice as long, including some flashier drum fills from new drummer Colin, followed by an outro with the same vibe as the chorus. I enjoyed the song a lot, but I did think it was played a bit too safe for my taste. What's there is great, so I'm thinking this is like a 6.5 out of 10 for me. The band sounds like an actual band, and they seem genuinely happy to be there again as Linkin Park. At least it seemed to me that way from the live stream. This is a band that means a lot to many people, and I think their return is a wonderful thing. There's a big audience that misses them, and I'm sure that the band misses the audience as well. Given the sad state of social media these days, where everything needs to be a hot take and negativity attracts attention more than ever, I honestly hope that this new Linkin Park gets the chance that it deserves. I am aware of some of the accusations made toward Emily, which are not great if true. But at this point, I can't help but feel that people will use any mistake, small or big, to just straight up shit on anyone they don't want to see succeed, be it for the right reasons or less, even more so if they're an exposed person. Everything is a hot take for the sake of the hot take, not because someone actually has anything of substance to say. The same vitriol and hate is what took Chester from us, as well as many other victims of this kind of online bullying. Let's be better this time around, especially if she has made mistakes. If she actually is part of this whole Scientology cult and she has, I don't know, been apologetic about someone, well, being a rapist, I hope that those are mistakes of her past, especially if she's under the thumb of Scientology. I hope we can award her some grace and empathy. It will go a long way. This band has brought happiness and joy to so many people, and I genuinely hope that they get to write a new chapter. Nobody wanted the band to end the way it almost did, and it seems it doesn't have to. There's clearly something here, and I can't wait to see where this goes. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and I've been Mahmoud. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Ew.